Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. If this is the first one of my videos that you've been over for, then hi and welcome, my name is Sam. So today's video is a little bit different. I want to talk to you about a certain condition, disorder called trichotillomania. You may not have heard of this before, or you may suffer from it and don't actually know it's a thing. This is actually something I've suffered with from the start of high school, so I'd say about 10, 11 years old. And only a couple of years ago, I discovered it's an actual disorder. It's a thing, it's got a name, it's got a community. I'm not the only person going through this and suffering with this. So let's start at the beginning. What is it? So like I've said, it's an OCD, it's an obsessive compulsive disorder. It's the desire to pull hair, so it's hair pulling. This is the hair on your head, eyebrows, eyelashes. Typically, it will start in people when they are around the ages of 10 to 13, usually around puberty, and there's that hormone imbalance, and it triggers around that time for most people. Not that it is for everybody, but for most people generally. And it does only affect, I think, I've tried to find the statistics on this, and they only go back to about 2013 when it was like 1 to 2% of the population. It's probably a lot more because, like myself, I didn't actually know it was something, so I didn't know I was suffering with this disorder because I didn't know it was a thing. So around that time, I started to suffer with anxiety quite badly. I've never suffered with depression, but anxiety and depression are two of the main symptoms which will trigger this disorder. What was the third one? Stress. Stress and tension also can bring this on. And I basically just used to pull at the hairs on my eyebrows, and then it started on my eyelashes, and I couldn't stop, basically. It became a complete obsession, and it would happen, usually it happens when I'm not aware that I'm actually doing it. So if I'm watching TV, if I'm reading a book, if I'm on my phone, if I'm doing a task that's a little bit mundane and a little bit boring, I find I am sitting like this most of the time. This is something that I've been so embarrassed about, not had any confidence to talk about. It's the thing that I least like about myself. I really dislike the fact that I do this, but I know that there's, you know, there isn't an actual reason I'm doing it, and it's not just something I'm doing to be annoying or to annoy myself. It is so difficult to not do it, and there's only actually a handful of people who I've confided in and spoke to about this condition who know that I do it. Because again, it's just something that I never felt confident enough to speak about. I was so embarrassed. And when it would get to like the worst time, I had no eyelashes on the top. It's never the bottom. And I think it's because that is really sensitive, so it hurts a lot more. But it's always the top eyelashes, and then it moved on to the eyebrows. And when it was my eyelashes, I remember my sister making a comment once saying that I looked really weird and a bit scary because I had no eyelashes. And looking back at pictures of myself, I had really blonde hair and no eyelashes on top, and it just breaks my heart when I see them pictures, because you can just see it. It doesn't look good. I know I was in a really bad place because it had triggered and it had gone to a place I couldn't control anymore. And that's a really difficult thing to face up to, I think. And when I have peaks in my life where I'm going through something really tough, or my anxiety is really bad, I know it picks up a lot, and I do it a lot more. It's never really now my eyelashes, because I feel like once I got to the point of I'd completely destroyed them, there was nothing left. It scared me. I would physically stop myself from touching my eyelashes. That being said, it went onto the eyebrows. Now my eyebrows, I would say I'd still actively pull it. Try not to. It really, really irritates me. I hate myself sometimes because you're pulling at your eyebrows and you can cut yourself, and yeah, it's something that I hate. But I can control it and I can keep it under control. Talking out loud about it now, because I've never really done it, I understand how strange it sounds to somebody who doesn't suffer with it, who's never heard of it before. It sounds bizarre. It sounds really crazy. But it is just the same as any other OCD. You cannot stop it. You can't control it. It does get worse. It does get better. It never goes away for me. I don't know if that's true for some other people who have suffered with trichotillomania before, but I find I can control it to the best that I can. But I noticed that there are times that it does get worse. So I have never pulled the hair on my head. I don't know why. I don't know why it's never gone to that level, but I've never gone to this hair. But I know it's very, very common that that will happen. There are people who actually have bald patches where they've pulled. A lot of people lose a lot of hair, and I can't even imagine how difficult it must be to deal with that level of the disorder. Mine is bad enough for me, and that is just on my face, and it's something that I have always had to deal with and really struggled with confidence for that. You can see I pencil my eyebrows on. I haven't like taken my makeup off completely for quite some time. I just sort of fill in and then I'll clean it up, and when I'm taking my makeup off, sort of go around and blot it, so it's like taken most of it off but not completely, because I'm too scared to see what it actually looks like without any makeup on completely. That's really scary to admit. But I know that a large amount of people, a large percentage of people who have trichotillomania pull at the hair on their head. And then I think, this could be wrong, the numbers could be slightly out, but I think it's about 20 to 40% of those actually ingest the hair, so they will eat the hair, and that in itself causes a lot of problems. This is something that on the surface it sounds a bit strange, a bit weird. You know, some people might find it a little bit amusing. They're a little bit, you know, can you not just stop? Why are you pulling your eyebrows out? Why are you pulling your hair out? Why are you eating your hair? But actually it goes a lot deeper than that, and it's a very difficult thing to deal with. Like I said, I've lived with trichotillomania for many years now, and it never really gets any easier. It just shows that this is the first time I've openly done a video on it. I've openly spoke about it, just because I understand how it sounds to people who don't have this, who haven't heard of it before. But to people who have, this might just be a little bit of comfort, a little bit of support. It's always good to know that there's somebody else out there who's going through something that you are. Some things you will probably hear is, why don't you just stop pulling your eyebrows out? Why don't you just stop pulling your hair? And that's like saying to somebody with anxiety, don't worry about it. I also have that one too. But I know that goes along hand in hand with this is so much more. There is so much more. It really, really affects people's lives. You know, it sets off anxiety. It sets off depression. Anxiety and depression kick off the hair pulling. It's a complete vicious cycle. Also, I think quite a few people who have this have another form of OCD that they have to deal with, whether it's like skin picking or some lip bite. Now I realise I bite the skin on the inside of my lips, and I never really put the two together. I never connected them. That's actually a very common thing for other people to do who have trichotillomania. I've also got quite bad anxiety, and I know that I do suffer with OCDs. I'm not saying I'm the biggest neat freak in the world. I'm a clean freak. I like my house to be clean. I like it to be tidy. silly little things really niggle me, like the cushions on the couch or my bed have to be straight, and that really grinds at me if they're not. It's something I get really wound up about, and I don't know why, but then I realise I've obviously got an OCD personality. That's just me. I'm really thankful that for me it's never gone to a level where I've needed any sort of medical intervention. I know this is a reality for some people who have it, and they have it really extreme, or medication, hypnosis, counselling, that sort of thing. I can control it myself. I know I've gone to places before where it's gone beyond my control, but I've always sort of been able to reel it back in and gain control of it again. My mum and my dad have always known. They've always known that I've done it, and they used to shout at me if they'd see me sit there every night time watching telly like this. They'd shout at me. Danny now knows, and every now and again, which I'm really thankful for, by the way, every now and again, if he sees me like this, he whacks my hand and I end up poking myself in the eye, and then I'm too scared to go anywhere near it again in case he hits me hand, and I'm poking myself in the eye again. But these are just like little things where it's a little shock of, oh, I didn't realise I was doing it, because most of the time you don't realise you're doing it. I've actually found myself doing it falling to sleep, which is bizarre because you should be completely relaxed, but then I'll wake up and my hands will be sort of up here, and it's really strange. But yeah, today I just wanted to make this video to let people know out there who do suffer from it, you're not alone. There are other people. Give a little bit of support and build a little bit of a community, like hopefully like my polycystic ovary syndrome video has done. That has got a little community going in the comment section, and it is fantastic to see just so many people reaching out and giving advice and support, and then they'll follow each other on different socials, and I find it's a really lovely way to connect people. I know there's quite a big Trichotillomania community over on Twitter, so I'll try and find some of the pages and link them in the description down below. But yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit of support today and just to talk about it out in the open, because it just feels like a huge relief being able to talk about it. Now I feel, especially because I am in control of mine, I'm maybe in a position to give a little bit of support to people who might be struggling, or even if they just want to talk about it because they've never actually done it with anybody else before. I don't know. That was just my little thinking of doing this video. And I think now that we're sort of like, while we've been in quarantine, these things spike and they go a little bit crazy. So if you're finding that you are really struggling with it, or you've started doing it and you didn't know what it was, hopefully you found this video and it might clear it up a little bit for you. I am in no way an expert on any of this. The medical advice that I've give or the numbers I've give, I'm not saying are 100% right, just what I've tried to research. But I'm just sat here telling you that I suffer with this too. I've been there, I am there now, I will probably be there for the rest of my life, and you're not alone. So I really hope this video helped if you needed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, because that always helps me know it's helped somebody. And leave me a comment down below as well, because that's really good. And if you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all again in my next one.